Well, guess what? It's finally finished. I finally finished putting the coating on it. I was using a spray lacquer, and it took so long because this paint is kind of raised, and when you do it layered like this, it takes a lot more coating to cover it all and protect it all. And I have to put these coats on slowly and gradually and let them dry and sand and all of that other good stuff. And that's why it has taken so long. But we're finally ready to start putting this baby together. Now, I'm calling this a digression, and I'll tell you why. I can't decide, or I couldn't decide, whether I wanted to put on the neck and set the bridge first, or go ahead and put the electronics in first. There are advantages and disadvantages to doing both. And I really couldn't decide which was going to be the best way to go with this. So I did something that I really shouldn't have. I turned to the worst possible source for information. I read the directions. Now, women make fun of us guys about reading directions, and they're right, we don't. But have you ever tried to read something like this? Let me give you a sample. Step one, check and identify parts. We got guitar body hardware. Body, pick guard with matching screws if applicable. Plate covers with matching screws, varies by model. Fixed bridge or tremolo, bridge body studs and adjustment screws. Strap buttons, tone and volume knobs, and then the electronics, and then the neck, hard neck, tuners with mounting and hardware screws, truss rod cover with matching screws, neck body plate with screws for bolt-on neck styles. Now, step 2, shape the headstock. What? It's already shaped. And I did not order one that wasn't, because if I tried to do something like this, I know what it would look like. So then, step 3, finishing the body and neck, which I already did. But now, here we go. Step 4, assembling the guitar. Attaching the neck to the body. Use a measuring tape and measure from the nut to the 12th fret. This will give you half of your scale length. Temporarily install the fixed bridge or tremolo. Temporarily. Now, center the adjustment saddles on the bridge. Place the guitar neck in the body. Position the neck so that the measurement from where the nut meets the fretboard to where the string rests on the adjustment saddle is equal to the scale length. Mark this position on the back of the neck. Why on the back? Now we got bolt-on neck. Have a friend hold the neck in the marked position or use a clamp. Drill screw pilot holes through the pre-drilled body hole into the neck. Don't go too far. Bolt on. Set in neck. Do the same thing, only use glue. And etc., etc., etc. Now, here's the thing. This doesn't have any bridge pilot studs. And you know why? Because those directions aren't building a bass guitar. They're building one of these. These are directions for building your basic Les Paul kit. They sent me the wrong directions. So ladies, that's why we don't read the directions. When I was teaching computer applications, I always told my students the worst possible place to get information about a new program is the manual that came with it. And I'll tell you why. Because they write those things for each other. They don't write them for real people. It's the same here. These guys didn't write these directions for us. They wrote them for themselves to be as streamlined and as cheap as possible. Anything like this that is going to be in my price range, you know they skimped on something. And now we know one of the things. They skimped on the directions. I am on my own. By the way, when we are hooking up the electronics, the wiring, there are many variations on how to wire your guitar. We recommend you use one of the many online resources to find your desired setup, or you can simply email us your setup and we can send you a wiring diagram. Why didn't they include it? This is the most ridiculous thing I've seen in a long time. I've shown some of the goofy manuals that came with some of my pedals and other things that, those are written in English. This is written in American. And they still gave me the wrong thing. So it's going to take me a little bit to sort that out, but it won't take nearly as long as it took to finish the body. Hopefully, I will see you next week and we will begin assembly. Until then,